Whenever competing belief systems are faced with each other within a given society, there are three alternatives that can be taken: fighting, coming to an agreement, or fleeing. The following timeline of the US history shows examples in which such conflicts were resolved by choosing one of these paths. The Mayflower Compact of 1620. It was a document signed by 41 of the Pilgrims on the ship Mayflower. It was the first written framework of government established in what is now the United States. The Pilgrims couldn't exercise their religion freely in Britain because of the persecution, so they fled to the New World and formed a colony. Not all the Pilgrims shared the same exact religion, but they still came to an agreement and created this compact, forming the basis of the colony's government. The 7 Years' War, 1754. It was a war between the British and the French, who had the Indians as allies. After several years of battle, the British rose victorious over the French, and by the Treaty of Paris in 1763 formally gained control of Canada and all the French possessions east of the Mississippi. Boston Massacre, 1770. The presence of the British troops in Boston was unwelcome. The troops were sent in 1768 to enforce the Townshend Acts. When a crowd started throwing snowballs and sticks to a British sentinel, soldiers opened fire to the crowd in an attempt to defend him. As a result, 5 colonists were killed, sparking a wave of protests that ultimately led to the Revolutionary War. Boston Tea Party, 1773. When the British established a tax on tea, the colonists became furious. That's when about 200 men disguised as Indians boarded ships carrying tea from Europe and dumped the 342 crates of tea to the ocean in protest against the taxes. First Continental Congress, 1774. The colonists discussed their response to the British intolerable acts. The Congress had 3 objectives: to compose a statement of colonial rights, to identify the British Parliament's violation of those rights, and to provide a plan that would convince Britain to restore those rights. The American Revolution in 1775. It was a war of independence fought between Great Britain and the 13 colonies. After 6 years of war, General Cornwallis finally surrenders to George Washington in 1781, and Britain acknowledged the American independence in 1783 with the Treaty of Paris, ending the war. But before the treaty was signed, many battles were fought, like the battles of Lexington and Concord in 1775. These were the first military engagements of the American Revolutionary War. Britain's General Gage secretly planned to send soldiers to Lexington and Concord, but information about these attacks was leaked and the Americans defeated the British. Declaration of Independence, 1776. Stated that the 13 colonies regarded themselves as newly independent sovereign states, that they were no longer under British rule, but formed a new nation, the United States of America. Shays Rebellion, 1786. The 1780s economical crisis was most intense in the rural area of central and western Massachusetts, and unlike other states, Massachusetts did not pass pro-debtor laws in favor of these farmers. These conditions led to the first armed rebellion in America after the Revolution. And lastly, Bill of Rights in 1791. The 55 delegates of the nation realized that for the new country to succeed, they would have to discard the Articles of Confederation and create a new government. But without the bill, the Constitution would not be ratified, so they approved 10 amendments to the Constitution, ratifying it while limiting the government's power. Thanks for watching.